Situated a week before Ronde van Vlaanderen, Gent-Wevelgem is a good indicator of who will be on form at the monument, with a number of the top 10 here finding themselves in the same position 7 days later. There are a cluster of 9 climbs in the second half of the route, before a 36-kilometre run to the line. Its flatter terrain tends to allow a few sprinters into the mix, but it rarely ends in a bunch sprint. Here are Cyclingnews' top 10 riders to watch at Gent-Wevelgem. Peter Sagan won here in 2013 after he went on a daring attack in the final 4 kilometres. Sagan hasn't had the Midas touch when it comes to victories so far this season, and a win here would be a huge boost ahead of Flanders. Although he might find a repeat victory a little harder with the likes of Cancellara and Boonen on the start line, but if he can make it to the finish with a small bunch of riders, then you wouldn't bet against him. Often overshadowed by his more illustrious teammate Philippe Gilbert, Greg van Avermaet can sometimes fly under the radar. He has enjoyed a solid start to this season, finishing second at Omloop Het Nieuwsblad and looking strong as he guided Gilbert to the finish at San Remo. Van Avermaet skipped the midweek Dwars-door-Vlaanderen to rest up after a tough weekend in Italy. He performed well here last season and it looks like he's in the form to do it again. With Gilbert skipping the cobbles this year, 2014 is Van Avermaet's chance to shine. The last week has been tough for Tom Boonen. He missed Milan-San Remo but was back in action at Dwars-door-Vlaanderen, where he showed that he hadn't lost any form by attacking the bunch late in the race. Boonen has won this event 3 times, with his most recent victory coming in 2012. He crashed out here last season, which proved to be a sign of things to come for his Classics campaign. With Flanders so close, the Belgian would like to strike a psychological blow to his rivals. Darren Cole will be raring to go this weekend, after missing out at Milan-San Remo due to an ill-timed puncture. Darren Cole has raced here twice before, but has never really found himself in contention at the finish. His best result was 57th in 2011 when he finished with the main bunch. However, the German has been looking particularly strong, and with the way he's been climbing, he should have no trouble here. Darren Cole could be a match for Sagan if they reach the line together. It's been a busy week for Alexander Kristoff since he took victory at Milan-San Remo. The Norwegian was one of the few to resume racing midweek at Dwars-door-Vlaanderen, although he did decide to skip E3 Houwerbekke to avoid tiring himself out before the bigger targets of the next 2 weeks. In last year's edition, Kristoff missed the split and finished 40 seconds behind Sagan. But they say success breeds success, and Kristoff's big victory will see him going into this crucial week brimming with confidence. Ian Stannard may seem like an odd choice over his faster teammate Edvald Boasson-Hagen, but the British rider's recent form makes him a hard man to overlook. He's carried his form from the start of March into this block of racing and looked good at Dwars-door-Vlaanderen as he went straight to commanding things on the front after suffering a puncture. Stannard won't stand a chance if it comes down to a sprint, but a late break could see him make the podium or even win. Gent-Wevelgem is one of the few cobble classics that Fabian Cancellara hasn't won, owing to its tendency towards the faster men. The Swiss rider did a lot of the grunt work for his team in last year's race and abandoned midway through in a bid to conserve his energy for more important targets. Cancellara has been looking good so far this season, and if he's up for the battle on Sunday, then there's no doubt that he can make the podium. We're only at the end of March, and Miranda Hofland has already taken half the victories that he did last season. The 22-year-old looks to be coming into his own this year and could be a force to be reckoned with throughout this cobbled campaign. Hofland pushed Boonen hard at Kuurne-Brosser-Kuurne earlier this month, but has also taken stage wins at Andalusia and Paris-Nice. He also has strong teammates in Lars Boom and Sepp van Mark, who could also do well, but Hofland is definitely a contender here. Tyler Farrar has often been the nearly man, with more seconds and thirds than you can shake a stick at. He was that once again at Dwars-door-Vlaanderen, but Farrar showed his form by winning the bunch sprint behind Terpstra. Farrar has finished on the podium once before, back in 2011, the same year that he last took the podium at Dwars. The competition for the top 3 spots is much higher than midweek, but another step onto the rostrum is well within the American's grasp. Results in the Cobble Classics have come with age for Borut Božič. This week in the calendar has proved rich hunting ground for the 33-year-old in the past. The Slovenian took second place at both Dwars and Gent-Wevelgem last season, and has already notched up another podium this week, and he'll be on the hunt for more this weekend. With a strong field due, he will need the work of his whole Stannard team to help him fend off his tough rivals.